TV shows and movies too dark today? Go back and watch my previous video and read all the comments. Clearly, that TikTok has become a magnet for people who think they can't see anything on television. So there was a show I watched one time that was incredibly dark. In fact, it was shot on film and it was shot so dark that it just barely hovered above what was visible. And when the studio executives looked at it, they were in fear that the whole project was going to be unwatchable and that they were just burning money, and they were wondering if they should fire the cinematographer, fire the director, etc. However, the filmmakers got it past the studio and they ended up releasing The Godfather, and it ended up winning Best Picture and did very well. And Gordon Willis' cinematography is now legendary and hugely influential, and that's a very dark scene. Go back and watch that scene. It's very dark, and I promise you, every time The Godfather airs on TV somewhere, people have trouble seeing what's going on in some of those scenes, especially the scenes where somebody's taking a phone call in the middle of the night. You can't really see what's going on there. Movies in particular, but TV shows as well that were darker have always been broadcast. It's just that you may not have watched them. And you were also probably watching them at night, because a lot of that was programmed at night. A lot of it was programmed when the sun was down and everybody would turn their lights down and watch whatever feature presentation of The Godfather at night. So people didn't really notice as much. But I promise you, if you take The Godfather and you watch it today in broad daylight with the sun like beaming directly at your television screen, it's gonna look exactly like that unwatchable first airing of one of the final episodes of Game of Thrones. I can't remember exactly which one it was. This is really nothing new, and there are plenty of brighter TV shows out there. You don't have to watch the ones that you perceive to be too dark. But there is another factor at play here, and it's just that you're not paying as much for your television as people who paid for their TVs back in the day. The original TikTok I stitched here was talking about the good old days in the 80s and 90s. Well, look, like in 1985, most people had a 19-inch TV or a 27-inch television, and they were expensive. You could get a 27-inch TV, which was like a mid-range TV. On the very low end, you could get one of those for about $500. And adjusted for inflation, that's about $1,865 today. So probably almost $2,000 with tax. So people were paying money. A television was a major purchase, and really good TVs are cheap now. I mean, my TV, which is I think it's like a 60-inch Vizio HDR television, 4K television, it was like $500. I mean, it's not really a great TV. Now, can I watch everything in it with the California, the bright New Orleans sun just like beaming on my screen? No, I can't. I have to draw the curtains. I have to change my environment. To be mindful of the environment that you're watching these shows in. You can't put the onus of every aspect of your viewing experience on the people that are making this stuff. So, and I'm not picking on this commenter. His views reflect other views that I saw, but the ideas that TV speakers have gotten bad, also not accurate. Yes, there were some TVs back in the day that were big cabinet TVs that had good speakers, but in general, the speakers that are coming built into your television set today are better than anything you could get in the 80s. There's just no escaping the reality that television looked and sounded terrible compared to what you can get today, which is incredible. I mean, even in the late 90s, pre-HD, it did not look good at home. It just didn't. I'm sorry. In a side-by-side test, no one is picking the pre-HD tube TVs. They're just not. They don't look good. There's like 1/10 of the information that you're going to get on a true 4K TV. I'm more sympathetic to sound problems, though, and I will make another TikTok about that.